Salute, Raider Nation. What's going on with you guys? I hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday. We are almost to the weekend, y'all. We are almost to the weekend. We are almost close to week 7 of NFL. And we had some trades yesterday. We have some Raiders news that we are going to break down and talk about today in this live show. Sean Johnson gave me a lot of intel as we were discussing yesterday about the trade, about our cap, about the money situation in regards to the trade. Filled me with a lot of intel, and we are going to break that down today, you guys. So come on in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you have not already. If you need to take some time and feel the room a little bit, hey, that's all it means. But hit that subscribe button when you are ready. It costs you nothing. And also hit the bell so you guys are not missing anything Raiders Primos related that we got going on here. Hold on. I want to fix my camera, you guys. I don't like the way my camera is right now. All right, that's a little bit better. I like that. Yeah, that's way better. But thank you guys for pulling up. Sean Johnson already coming in the room. We got 3 more joining us. Thank you guys, but let's dive into it. Davante Adams is officially traded, you guys. This should come as no surprise. I know a lot of fans were surprised, though. They believed that the quarterback change was going to keep Tae, that Tae was going to stay here. AP made some comments and said that Davante is still a Raider at this point. And that was the key word, at this point. At that point, he was a Raider. He is not a Raider anymore. He is a New York Jet. He practiced with the Jets today, and he also is set to start Sunday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers for the Jets. And what does that have to do with us? Well, that has a lot to do with the trade clause or the trade details that went into the trade. The Raiders are sending Davante Adams to the New York Jets, as the New York Jets are going to be in return sending back a conditional third round pick that can become a second round pick based on Davante Adams' performance. That is, if Davante Adams is a first or second team All-Pro, or if the Jets make the AFC Championship and or the Super Bowl. I don't see them making the AFC Championship. So our biggest bet, you guys, is that Davante Adams goes out there and kills it. And he makes second team All-Pro or first team All-Pro, and then that third round pick jumps up to a second round pick. Not only do we get a draft pick out of it, but also the New York Jets are going to take the entire contract off our hands, and they are going to pay Davante Adams the rest of his money. Now, that does not include the dead cap. The Raiders are still going to get hit with the dead cap. Let me go to Spot Track, you guys, real quick. And let's see Davante Adams' contract. Let me see. Here's his contract. As for the Raiders take a $28.4 million off the 2025 books, bringing their salary cap room to be a projected of $104 million for next season. Now, the NFL salary cap for 2025 is expected to increase to between $260 million and $275 million, which is more modest increase than 2024. Over the cap.com has $260 million, Spot Track $273.3 million, and Fitzgerald has $275 between $280 million. The 2025 increase is expected to be more in line with the annual increases of $10 to $12 million that have been seen in recent years. This is because the league deferred some of the 2024 increase into 2025 to avoid an unfair situation for the 2025 free agent class. However, the cap could increase again if 2025 revenue projections are higher than expected. The salary cap compounds year over year, so the effect of a player's contract as a percentage of the cap will be lower in the future. Now, going back to Devontae Adams' contract, you guys, I want to see contract details. So his dead cap hit is going to be $8 million for 2025, $11 million for 2024. That I believe the Jets may be paying. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. For this year, I don't know how the money is structured. If we are paying that 11.2 million, or if the Jets are paying that. But I know we do have an $8 million dead cap for next year in 2025 and 2026, a $6 million dead cap. This is what the Jets are going to be essentially paying you guys. The Jets will be paying Adams in 2024 $11.5 million. In 2025, $36 million. In 2026, another $36 million. So essentially, the Raiders have taken off $84.09 million off their books, off the cap. And if anyone says that this is a bad trade because of the draft pick that they got, I don't know what research you were doing, but taking that was what we talked about going into a Devontae Adams trade. Why did we want Devontae Adams traded? It was for the money. It was because his contract. We are paying him 40. If he stayed a Raider, we were going to pay him $44 million next year for a 33-year-old wide receiver. That does not make any sense for a team that looks like they're going to be in a rebuild. I don't want to call it a rebuild because I still think they can possibly in 2025 offseason, with the money that they're going to have, they can attack free agency very aggressively and come in this coming draft that they're looking to have a top 3 pick. They can turn this thing around with next season's next offseason. But you are not going to have that if you are carrying a $44 million contract for an aging wide receiver. That it doesn't make any sense. Mondo's in the building. What's with it, my boy Primos? Hey, Mondo, I hope you're liking what you're seeing from the C's. I know it's preseason. I'm just ready to get the season rolling, and let's get back-to-back championship wins. Everybody wants to hate on our Celtics, but they need to recognize that we are the best in the world. We beat supposedly the best backfield in NBA history. Hey, they want to take that back? No, I remember when they were saying that. We're going to run it back. Well, we're going to be talking Raiders here, Mondo. Let's not get sidetracked. Let's not talk Celtics. Let's talk Raiders. But yeah, you guys, I want to get your guys' thoughts. What was your guys' initial thoughts when the Devontae Adams trade happened? I just said finally that it happened. I was waiting for the details to come out, and once the details came out, I couldn't be more happy that we got rid of the entire contract to the Jets. Now we can build this thing right. And I've told you guys numerous times, I would rather have a great or elite quarterback than a great elite wide receiver. Jets can have Devontae. I want a quarterback. I want us to go finally locate the quarterback in this upcoming draft. I'm not saying any of that they're all going to be elite or all great. If there's one that AP likes, if there's one that he knows that this can be the guy, just like how he believed that Jaden Daniels was going to be the guy, of course, that's all it was. It was a dream. But this upcoming year, the way it's looking like the Raiders may have a top 5 pick. We'll see. We'll see. I'm really hoping that they address this quarterback situation the right way and get the guy that they want in this upcoming draft in the first round. And just like Mark Davis's comments, you guys, we traded Devontae Adams for the Jets, basically for Tom Brady. In other news, Tom Brady has it has been approved by NFL owners and the NFL that Tom Brady and Richard Seymour are going to have a minority that I believe is 10%. That I've heard it last year. I gotta make sure. I'm gonna get that back to you guys, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna have 10%, or he actually has 5%. It says how much Tom Brady paid for 5% of the Raiders. According to Forbes, the Raiders are currently valued at $6.7 billion. Sports Illustrated reported that Tom Brady is buying 5% of the team, which would make the value of his share $335 million. In total, team owner Mark Davis is selling 10.5% of the team. So 5% to Brady, 5% to Richard Seymour. And it is being reported, you guys, also yesterday that Tom Brady will be heavily involved in the Raiders football operations. And even Mark Davis had this to say when commenting on Tom Brady. Mark Davis said that Brady can help select the Raiders' next quarterback and train him. So that's something that is something to look into. Getting back, the Raiders, and shout out to Los_Vegas_Raiders_live. They put out that the Raiders will have 21 free agents next offseason, some of which are key players on the field. The Las Vegas Raiders have a plethora of players hitting the free agent market next offseason, some of which are key contributors on the team. Raiders' current projected cap space for 2025, now with Devontae Adams off the books, $123.8 million. Cutting Gardner Minshew pre-June would also save an additional $6 million. Post-June, an additional $9 million, which I wouldn't be surprised if Gardner Minshew sees his way out, because there's really going to be no need for him here with us going out and locating the quarterback of the future. Sean says, if we play this right in 2025, we can be what the Detroit Lions and Houston Texans did when they had a top pick and a lot of money and picks. You're right, Sean. This next offseason, I know we say this every single offseason, but this is a big offseason for the Las Vegas Raiders. If you really want to turn this thing around, you have the money to do it. You have the draft picks to do it. There's no excuses. There's no excuses to have, and we talked about this, Sean, that there should be no excuses on why, if AP and Telesco are still here, which I believe they will still be here next season, there's no excuses on why the team is not improved. And I don't know how you guys will feel about this, but I want to see a big improvement from this season. The defense has been looking very terrible. The offense is looking terrible. I want to see a big improvement from this. If we get the same thing next season that we are getting this season, AP, you might be seeing you might be seeing the door. You might be seeing your way out of this head coaching gig, because there is no reason why we should not be improved next season. Again, I'm not saying the Raiders will improve. It's just they have the money to do it. They have the draft picks to do it. There should be no excuses on why you cannot improve this team. There should be no excuses. And that's to the front office. That is to the front office. Notable free agents, you guys. Defensive ends is Malcolm Kuntz, which I think he will come back on. This is for the Raiders. Notable free agents for the Raiders. Malcolm Kuntz, I do believe he will re-sign to us. He went down with the with the knee injury, out for the season. Didn't even play a game yet. Had really high hopes for Kuntz. Would he have made a difference? We don't know. We really don't know. Seeing how this defense is playing, but they're playing with a lot of injuries on that side of the ball. So would he have made a difference? I believe he would have. A healthy Kuntz definitely would have made a difference. Then you got Charles Snowden, Janarius Robinson, Kalav Chason, our defensive tackles, Adam Butler, who has been killing it this season, John Jenkins, Matthew Butler, Nesta J. Severa. Our linebackers, Robert Spillane, who, again, I think he needs to be re-signed. Again, we're going to have the money to do it. We're going to have a lot of money to re-sign some of these key pieces on the defensive side of the ball. Devon Diablo, Luke Masterson, Kanua Muaga. Cornerbacks, Nate Hobbs, Sam Webb, Darnay Holmes. Safeties, Marcus Epps, Trayvon Merrick, Isaiah Palomalo. Tight end, Harrison Bryant. Wide receiver, DJ Turner, Tyreek McAllister. Running backs, Alexander Madison and Amir Abdullah. Offensive line, Andreas Pete, Cody Whitehair, and Jordan Meredith. I don't know who this is coming from, but they said that the resignings must are Malcolm Kuntz, Adam Butler, Robert Spillane, Nate Hobbs, Isaiah Palomalo. My resignings that are maybes, This is not my resignings, by the way. I got these notes from Sean. I don't know where Sean pulled these from, but this is somebody else, their resignings. Some maybes: Alexander Madison, Devon Diablo, Charles Snowden, DJ Turner, Tyreek McAllister. What do you guys think about those names? The musts are Malcolm Kuntz, Adam Butler, Robert Spillane, Nate Hobbs, and Isaiah Palomalu. I like the must. I do believe Malcolm Kuntz needs to be re-signed. Butler, he's earning himself another payday. Robert Spillane, he had a sloppy game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but for the most part, he has been killing it for us. Nate Hobbs and Isaiah Palomalu, I mean, they're another thing other than Adam Butler, who is up there in age, it's youth. Kuntz, a young player. Spillane, he's, I believe, what, 29, I believe? Or is he up? No, he might be younger than that, actually. Hold up. Let me see. He's 28. So Robert Spillane's 28, hitting his prime. Nate Hobbs, Isaiah Palomalu. You got young guys. Lock up the youth. I love the youth movement. The maybes, Alexander Madison. I believe he is a good running back too. So you secure your backup running back, but we need a starting running back. Alexander Madison is not a starting running back. Zamir White has shown that he struggles in this scheme. And I'm assuming, you guys, that Getty is going to get another shot. I know people do not want to hear it, but I am assuming, because if we want stability, we need to stop with the firing the coaches. I know I've been, and I apologize, you guys, that I've been, calling for Getty's head. It has been frustrating. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It has been frustrating to watch the play calling. It's not so much play design. My problem with Getty. My problem with Getty is his play calling. The certain moments when he calls his plays, like a 1st and 20 run play, 2nd and 18 run play, 3rd and 17 a check down. Like, that is poor play calling. And for me, that is on the offensive coordinator's part. But assuming that he is here, we need to locate the running back one that can do well. I don't want to say flourish, because again, I don't know how Getty's play if the play calling will hold the offense back. We need to get a running back one. Like I said, Zamir White has shown he is not cut out to be running back one. Alexander Madison has always been a good running back two. I don't think he's good as a running back one and carrying that pressure with him, that weight of being a running back one. I believe he is a good rotational piece. Devon Diablo, again, a 50-50. I don't know how I feel about Devon yet. I want to wait until the season is over to really give a good should we resign Devon Diablo. Charles Snowden, again, another 50-50. He has some decent games. He's had some bad games. DJ Turner and Tyreek McAllister, I think those are not maybes. I think Turner and McAllister should be must, only because of what they bring to the special teams. Special teams should not be forgotten, you guys. DJ Turner as a gunner, that guy is a speedster, gets down the field and is not afraid to hit their returner. Tyreek McAllister, we've seen what he could bring in the preseason. I'm surprised that he's not getting more chances in special teams as a punt returner. I'm confused why we got Amir Abdullah back there. I'm surprised not to see that we're not seeing McAllister back there returning the kicks, returning punts. I would bring Tyreek McAllister back, honestly, you guys. Let me get back into the chat, you guys. Give me 1 second. I just want to pull this up, and then I want to get back into the chat. Orlando, we need to go back to Oakland. That's not going to happen. Like, I know what you mean. You wish if there was a chance to go back to Oakland, we should do it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And yeah, man, they are. Like I said, my girlfriend, when we went to the home opener, week 3, Panthers and Raiders, it was like $600 that we had to pay for. And that's just the football tickets. That's not adding hotel, flight, money we took out there for food, for drinks, for souvenirs. I want to say the trip came close to $2,000, $2,500. And that was for Thursday through Monday. We left. We got in Vegas Thursday afternoon, left Monday morning. So yeah, for a good trip, if you're going to a Raider game and you're trying to make a trip out of it, like go for the weekend, yeah, you're looking at close to between $2,000, $3,000 if what you're looking at. And if you're going, and unless you're going when if the Raiders continue doing bad, maybe the ticket prices go down. Heck, go to the Raiders and Jags game. They should be like probably what 150, 170. They probably will be. If you're looking at a game, Raiders and Jags. That's probably the game. That's probably a perfect game to go to because the tickets should not be that high. And if they are high, I don't know what Mark Davis is smoking. But with that being said, you guys, that was our free agents. Now, as things stand today, there will also be some players to keep an eye on for the Raiders when they hit free agency, assuming that these guys do not resign to their respective teams. And like I said, you guys, the Raiders will have a lot of money to play with this upcoming free agency. Speaking of running backs, you got Chuba Herbert, who just gassed us in week 3 when he played against us, and another guy that just gassed us this past Sunday, Najee Harris. And I like Najee Harris. And you guys, I seen Najee Harris play in high school. I actually got a front row seat, literally on the field in high school. I went to the local high school out here that was next to his high school, not too far. And we had this, it was a big rivalry. It was called, and we always called the big little game. And people were talking about like, bro, do you know that running back Najee Harris? And I was like, I've heard of him. I've seen his stats, and I'm excited to see him in person. This boy ran all over us. He had like 17 carries, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. And let me tell you guys, I didn't stand next to him, but he ran down the sideline, and I was like right on the sideline. It was a man amongst boys out there. And from that game, I knew this guy would be special in the NFL. I would not hate to bring Najee Harris to the Raiders. We've seen what he can do with the Steelers. He runs power. He runs efficiently. And he is not an easy guy to take down. Has he had his ups and downs with the Steelers in the running game? Yes, he has. Will he flourish here with Luke Getsy? That's where I'm worried about because, like I just said, Najee Harris is more of a power runner. He likes to go north and south, but he can go east and west, and he's kind of like Jacobs. He's shifty. He makes a lot of cuts, and Jack Jones knows what that's like as he got shook out of his boots by Najee Harris. So Najee Harris is probably one of my running backs that I would love to bring in. Deal-wise, I do not know yet what deal would he be looking for. I mean, what he's probably entering his prime. Let me see. Najee Harris, where is he at? Hey, he's only 26 years old, you guys. I would not hate to bring him possibly on a 2-year deal, 3-year deal. He's killing it with the Steelers right now, and the Steelers are killing it themselves. For offensive coordinators, we have Josh Myers and Bradley Bozeman. Again, those are not free agent is it offensive centers or offensive coordinators? Sean, what are these notes meaning, man? Because we're talking free agency, but I don't know if offensive coordinators go into the free agency. Again, we're assuming if Getsy is still the offensive coordinator. Defensive ends, you got Charles Omenihu, Dante Fowler Jr., DeMarcus Lawrence, and Dayo Adeyingbo. I don't know how to say these last names. We also have Khalil Mack, who, yeah, you can bring him back, but it'd probably just be like a nostalgia bring back. Jerome Baker, Darrell Taylor, and Zach Bwan. I like Jerome Baker. Your inside linebackers will be Willie Gay Jr., Anthony Walker Jr., Nathan Landman. Honestly, with our linebackers, you guys, at least the inside linebackers, I want to give our young guys a shot. I want to go, again, more to the youth movement. Give Tommy Eichenberg a shot. Give Luke Masterson a shot. Even though Luke Masterson, with the opportunities that he's been given this season, he hasn't flourished. But again, this may change as the season goes on because I guarantee Masterson and Eichenberg, once they come back, they will take advantage of their opportunities. For defensive tackles, you got Marlon Tuipulotu. I don't know how to say it. Bro, these last names are crazy. Sebastian Joseph, Quentin Jefferson, LeBron Ray. You know what's crazy? actually like Quentin Jefferson and what he did for us when he was here. I'm surprised we did not bring him back. I'm really surprised that we did not bring him back. Oh, it's offensive center? All right, okay. Because yeah, I was confused. I'm like, is it offensive center? I mean, why didn't I just put the C for center? But Josh Myers and Bradley Bozeman, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. For the center position, bro, just put JPJ there. Andre James, I don't know what he's still doing here. And you guys know, I've been saying that we should have just let him walk in free agency. And if you wanted to bring him back as a backup, not as a starter, I don't know what he is still doing here as a starter. Put JPJ as a starter next season. Just do us a favor. Do the quarterback a favor and put JPJ at the center position. Just do that. Just trust Raider Nation. Just do that. Salute to the Raider Room. Also, shout out to the Raider Room on Instagram. Look at what the Raiders are going to go into for the 2025 offseason. They're possibly going to have a top 10 pick. Again, you guys, this is assuming based on what we've seen in the first 6 weeks. And you guys cannot tell me otherwise or convince me otherwise that the Raiders will not have a top 10 pick. I might need to get some water. These hiccups are killing me. Un momento, por favor. Oh, at least she got that text because these hiccups are bad. But going into the 2025 offseason, assuming that based off the Raiders' play, that is going to trend into this direction. They're going to have a top 10 pick in the draft, $108 million in cap space, Tom Brady helping picking the head coach and quarterback. I don't know about head coach because, again, we're going to assume AP is still the head coach. So he's going to be helping picking out the quarterback and that we're going to have 9+ projected draft picks. And assuming that the Raiders re-sign Malcolm Kuntz, you're going to have Malcolm Kuntz and Christian Wilkins back. That's something to be optimistic about. And I'm going to be honest, y'all. If that does happen, like it goes the way the Raider Room is thinking that is going to happen, I don't want to have hope. And I'm going to be honest, throughout the next offseason, I'm probably not going to be as optimistic as I was this past offseason. I want to see results. I'm tired of drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm tired of buying into what the Raiders are doing off the field, signing big name free agents, making decisions in draft that look like the right decisions, getting the right coaches that look like they're the right coaches, and then we have a season like this. But I also realize that this is AP and Telesco's first season together. This is AP's first full season as the full-time head coach. We got to give it time. But like I said, next year, you're in year 2. We got to see some improvement. But I don't want to get my hopes up that we will see improvement, if that makes sense. Going back to what Raiders owner Mark Davis had to say about Tom Brady going to be the minority owner and take over the football operations, Mark Davis had this to say. He said that Tom Brady will help the franchise identify their next quarterback. He said Brady, who was officially approved as a minority owner of the Raiders yesterday, has close ties to Colorado's quarterback Shedeur Sanders and has trained with him in the past. In a way, he mentored him. Mark also really likes Shedeur Sanders. Could the Raiders very well target Shedeur in next year's draft? And they possibly could target him. And last season, Shedeur didn't really have a good season. They went on a run. I think they started like 3-1. And then they lost the next 6 of their last 7 games. They finished the season, I believe, 4-7 or 4-8. Don't quote me on that. But I knew it was a tough season last season. In regards to this season, Shedeur is having himself a good season. I believe he has 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Let me bring that up. Shedeur. He has, let me see, current season. He has 17 touchdowns. How many? Let me see. Let me look at his stats. He has 17 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and he's passed over 2,018 yards. His quarterback rating, 70.6. Let me see. He's had away games. He has 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. In the month of October, he has 3 touchdowns on 1 interception. Let me see in his rushing ability too, because I know he runs. I know he runs the football. If it brings it up here, because it's not bringing it up. Oh, here we go. He had 9 carries for negative 50 yards, 5 carries for 15 yards. Against Baylor, he had 19 carries for 26 yards and a touchdown. Against Nebraska, so it seems he doesn't run the football a lot. He actually gets sacked a lot. But that is one thing I will say. If we do get a Shedeur Sanders, no matter what quarterback we get, you guys, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Jalen Milroe, whoever the quarterback is, we need to fix this offensive line. And again, we're going to have the money to do it. We're going to have the money to go out and fix this offensive line, whether that's free agency or in the draft. Now that Tom Brady is officially a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, his restrictions is that he is not permitted to be in another team's facility. He's not permitted to witness practice. He's not permitted to attend broadcast production meetings, either in person or virtually. He is prohibited from publicly criticizing game officials and other clubs. He's subject to the NFL's gambling policy, and he is subject to the NFL's anti-tampering policy. That is messed up that he cannot criticize. So that kind of explains why the broadcasters don't criticize the game officials, because they should. Now, per ESPN did come out with their top 10 NFL draft quarterbacks. And again, this is per ESPN. Their number 1 quarterback is Shedeur Sanders. The number 2 quarterback, Cam Ward. At number 3, Georgia's Carson Beck. Number 4, Alabama's Jalen Milroe. Number 5, Texas Quinn Ewers. Number 6, LSU's quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier. 7, Penn State's Drew Allar. 8, Ole Miss Jackson Dart. 9, USC Miller Moss. 10, Kentucky's Curtis Rourke. I think that's how you say his name. Rourke. Is that Kentucky's logo? Because I don't know whose logo that is. I think that's Kentucky's. I could be wrong though. Who does he play for? Because I gotta start getting some knowledge on these guys. Oh, he plays for Indiana. Okay, he's with Indiana. My bad, you guys. My apologies. He plays for Indiana. Let's see if I missed anything. Let's see. Now, we're talking about first-round quarterbacks, you guys. And I, along with Sean Johnson, I did my own research. Now, Sean sent me how many first-round quarterbacks are successful. Hold on, you guys. Hey, Nate. Hold on, I'm gonna text it to you. My cousin Nate is here, you guys. Cousin Nate is here. Sorry about that, you guys. Sean, he said he sent me that the odds of drafting a Pro Bowl quarterback in the first round since 1970 are a 45.7% chance, and it increases at the top of the draft. Quarterbacks selected in the top 5 have been named to at least one Pro Bowl in 61.2% of cases. Context is important here, and I agree with this because I did my own research, you guys. And since the 2016 season or the 2016 draft, out of every single NFL starting quarterback, 32 starting quarterbacks, 65% of those quarterbacks since the 2016 draft were drafted in the first round. In total, there are 71.8% of NFL starting quarterbacks were drafted in the first round currently. Last season, 21% of starting quarterbacks that made it to the playoffs were drafted out of the first round. There was only 3 quarterbacks. Shout out to Xavier Rader that gave me this intel. There was 3 quarterbacks that made the playoffs, and that was Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, and Brock Purdy. And hold on, you guys. I got my cousin calling me again. Hey, what's up, bro? I'll be right back, you guys. Be right back. Mm. My apologies, you guys. My apologies. We got Leak Eye in the building. Leak Eye, salute to you. Salute to you. Sean says JPJ's natural position is center. So, yes, that should be your 2025 starter. Yes. Yes. And there should be no reason why he's not. There should be no reason why he's not. Let me see. Let me see. There was something. Oh, back to my point about the first round quarterbacks. My point is that the Raiders need to take a chance on a first round quarterback, whether that is Shador, whether that's Cam, whether that's Milrow. I don't really like Carson Beck, but whether that's Carson Beck, I mean, just take a chance. Just take a chance. Queen Ewers, Garrett Nussmeyer, or Nussmeyer, just take a chance. If you want any of these quarterbacks that I just named off, if you want a Cam Ward, grab him. If you got to trade up, grab him. If you need, what I mean, if you need to hop over another team because you're afraid that they're going to grab him, do it. Do it. If you need to grab Shador Sanders and you need to trade up to go get him, get him. If that's who you want, go get the quarterback you want. Don't just pick the best quarterback that's left on the board. Don't do that. Go grab the quarterback you want because you're likely going to be in position to make it happen, to either trade up or you're going to be in the top 5 in the draft selection and you're going to be in position to grab the quarterback that you want. Let me see. And then shout out to Spot Track. Spot Track is saying that the Raiders will be the 5th most cap space in the NFL for 2025. They are projected to have $108 million. This $108 million may not include the 25 to 30 million cap increase in 2025 across all 32 NFL teams. So 108 potentially can be upward to $103 million with 10 plus draft picks. You guys, right there is showing why there should be no reason why the Raiders should not be improving this roster next season. Why we should not be able to locate the quarterback. Why we should not be able to improve this offensive line. Find ourselves a running back that can get the running game going. There is no excuses. There is literally no excuses. You trade away Devontae. I know I said this season there should be no excuses for losing a lot of games, but injuries happen. The Raiders got hit with the injury bug. They just traded away Devontae Adams, who did not want to be here, who was our number 1 wide receiver. This season is over, y'all. The season is over. I know nobody wants to hear it. The season is donezo. We're moving on to the offseason already. Yes, we are talking about the offseason in week 7. We are talking about the offseason and week 7 because this season is donezo, you guys. I do not see in a world unless someone is playing Madden real life and they turn it on rookie mode and the Raiders start winning a bunch of games. I do not see it happening. Can the Raiders beat the Rams this Sunday? They could. Will they? I think they are not going to beat the Rams. I think they're going to lose against the Rams. They're going to lose. I mean, I hope they win against Rams. It's my cousin's birthday. But honestly, I think they will lose against the Rams. Based off what I'm watching, I'm going based off what I'm watching. What I'm seeing is this offense is going to be lackluster through the entire season, especially without a Devontae Adams. Yes, we have Brock Bowers. How many times are we going to target him? That's the question mark, because Lugetzi or I wouldn't even say Lugetzi, because Lugetzi ain't even the quarterback. Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. We're not now. It's Aiden O'Connell. I know Aiden targeted him 10 times. He had 9 catches, but it's like we go away from him. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, we'll start the game throwing to him 4 times, and then the rest he doesn't get another target until like the 4th quarter while we're already getting blown out. Makes no sense whatsoever. Our running game still can't get going. The defense side of the ball has injuries left and right, and then you have Max Crosby playing on a high ankle sprain. I'm telling you guys, he is not fully healed. I know this from experience. He came back in 1 week on an injury that takes 8 weeks to fully heal. He is not 100%. Like, shout out to Max Crosby, but I know he is playing hurt. So, I mean, with all of that, am I really supposed to be like, yeah, the Raiders are going to beat the Rams? No, they're not going to beat the Rams. And then you got the Chiefs the following week. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. The Bengals, you're going to Cincinnati. They got T. Higgins. They got Jamar Chase. I mean, looking towards the future, you guys, the season is donezo. This season is donezo. Lower your expectations when it comes to watching a Raider game on football Sundays. Get ready for the offseason talk. Just get ready for the offseason talk, because it's coming. And it's coming faster than you guys probably thought it was. Now, going into depth on what Tom Brady is, like as the minority owner, what will he have? So, NFL legend, shout out to Raiders with Marcos on Instagram. NFL legend Tom Brady has officially been approved as a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Owners took a vote today or yesterday and approved Brady's bid for ownership. Brady will hold a 5% of ownership. His business partner, Tom Wagner, will hold another 5%. Additionally, former Raiders defensive tackle Brady Seymour will own 0.5% of stake. Oh, so I actually had that wrong. My apologies, you guys. The Raiders will give Brady a strong voice in helping to operate and make decisions on the football side of the organization. Mark Davis has a deep respect for the future Hall of Fame quarterback, and Brady's opinions and leadership will be highly valued going forward. Brady is expected to have a long leash in his role of helping the organization. Now, I wanted to go back and comment on that, because will Brady help this organization? I know that's what a lot of people have asked. Will Brady help this organization get back to their winning ways? Now, shout out to Sean Johnson. He said, I believe in the 64-year history, the Raiders have only drafted a first-round quarterback 4 times. That's bad. And I believe that's true, Sean. I believe that's true. And the last quarterback that they drafted was in 2007. Everybody knows who that is. Orlando was like, we can knock out Mahomes. Yeah, without getting penalized for it? I think not. And the thing is, Orlando, this defense is just depleted with injuries, and the next man up mentality isn't really working in our favor. Our defense is worse with our depth pieces out there, our backups out there. Mahomes is going to cook us, bro. There's going to be no pass rush. Like, yeah, we said we're going to knock out Mahomes. There's going to be no pass rush to Mahomes. If we do make a pass rush, I will be shocked. I will be surprised. And that's what sucks, you guys. When we win, when we beat teams like the Chiefs, when we beat the Baltimore Ravens, I get shocked by that, because those are teams that we are supposed to lose to. We beat the teams we're supposed to lose to, and we lose to the teams we're supposed to beat. That's the Raider way. And that is why I'm saying that this season is a loss, is because we lost to the Panthers. We lost to the Denver Broncos. We got our ass kicked by the Pittsburgh Steelers. teams that I believe that were, well, I wouldn't even say the Steelers were beatable considering our situation. But at the time, the Panthers, bro, were way beatable. Way beatable. And we got blown out by them. The Denver Broncos, again, another beatable team, got blown out by them. The Steelers, watching the game, they were beatable. It was what, 12-7 at halftime? Very, very winnable game. You get blown out by them. Just going based off what I have seen in those 3 losses, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up because we beat the Baltimore Ravens. That was week 2. We're going into week 7. Okay, from week 2 to week 7, 4 games have went by. And we're 1-3 in those games. What am I supposed to be excited about? We went 1-3 in the past, since from week 2 to week 7, we went 1-3. Yeah, you beat Baltimore. You know what Baltimore's record is right now? 4-2. We're 2-4. That win was a fluke. We caught Baltimore napping, and we took advantage of it in the fourth quarter. Let's not forget the first 3 quarters. They were whooping our behinds. And they fell asleep. They kept the door open in the fourth quarter. We took advantage of it. And also, the wide receiver that went off in that fourth quarter, we don't have anymore. It's just things I'm looking at. Now, will Brady fix this? Will Brady fix this organization? We'll see. I'm not going to say he will. I'm not going to say he won't. We'll see. Time will tell. If next season we make the playoffs, hey, that's a good start. But I want to be a consistent playoff team. Not 2016, we make the playoffs and then can't make the playoffs until 2021. And then now we can't get it right. We can't be not only can we not be consistent in football games, we can't be consistent in NFL seasons. We make it to the playoffs, and then the following year, it was all hype. Nate, we are now the Bradys. I present to you Brady's system. That's a good one, Nate. That's a good one, Nate. But anyways, you guys, going close to an hour. We're at the 50-minute mark. I want to thank you guys for pulling up. Head over to Big Mike's channel. I know he is live with Elite. I'm about to head over there too. Check him get into the chat. Thank you guys for pulling up. On the way out, if you guys have not subscribed already, please think about hitting that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. And also hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything on Raiders Primos related. Also hit that like button on the way out, and also follow us on Instagram for your daily updates of what we got going on over here on Instagram. Raiders Primos on Threads, Raiders Primos on X. Go give us a follow. Orlando says KC's been struggling. I think we have a chance. Have you seen that defense, Orlando? The offense has been struggling. I will agree with that. KC's offense has been struggling. Have you seen that defense? And look at what Pittsburgh Steelers defense just did to us. Kansas City got a nice defense. I hate Kansas City. You guys know this. I hate them with a passion, but I'm not going to let my fandom blind me from reality. And the reality is that Kansas City's defense has been bailing out that offense for probably all these 5 games. And yeah, we can argue with the rest, but that's another thing you got to play into, right? The rest are going to favor Mahomes. He's the new Brady. Can't touch him. Can't breathe on him. It's going to be, I mean, do they have a chance? Of course, any given Sunday. It's like a 5% chance, but any given Sunday. But anyways, y'all, have a good rest of your night. We'll see you Friday. Hopefully we can get Nate on. Nate, we got to get you on, bro. We got to get you back on, man. Hopefully we can get Nate on Friday afternoon. It's probably going to be around 3:30. We'll put it, if depending on Nate's schedule, if I have to push it later in the evening, then we'll push it later in the evening. But Friday, we are going to preview this Rams and Raiders game. It's gonna be a nasty one. It's gonna be a nasty one. It's a preview. Yeah, it's gonna be the refs and KC against us. Yeah, you're right, Orlando. And that's my thing. It's their defense. And watching how our offense is playing, if our offense like was clicking right now, Orlando, then yes, I would be like, oh, we do have a chance. But our offense versus their defense, bro. Come on, that's not like, come on. Love the optimism though, Orlando. Love the optimism. I'm not gonna, get on you for that. You have the optimism. I love the optimism, but yeah, look, our offense versus their defense, bro. It's not even a fair fight. It's not even a fair fight. But anyways, y'all, have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys in the next one. Friday. Stay tuned.